Welcome to another episode of Real Estate the Right Way with your host, Michael.Wright, residential realtor on Long Island, New York, delivering the best educational content when it comes to residential real estate. If you find value in this information, give me a like, a subscribe, ring that bell so you're always notified of new content, and give me a question, give me a comment, let me know what you think. I'm always here for you. So congratulations, you've started your home search, you defined your budget, you took a look at your house criteria and how that compares to location, vice versa. You went out, you looked for houses, you found a house that you really liked, you submitted an offer. The seller said it was acceptable. Now what? There's an intricate step right before attorneys send out contracts and right after the seller agrees to your price and terms. What that is the home inspection. So on Long Island, we do the home inspection before we go to contract. And this video is describing what a home inspection is and also what it's not. So we'll start with what it's not. Unless you're buying a new construction, a home inspection and the report that you'll get once that home inspection is completed is not a to-do list for the seller. I hate to say it, but that's just not what it is. There's going to be things wrong with a house. There's something wrong with almost every house, probably every house. Even new constructions, believe it or not, they still come with a 50, 60-page inspection report. So if it's not a to-do list for the seller, why do we do it? Where's the value? What does it deliver to us? Well, first and foremost, a home inspection is a buyer hiring a trained and qualified, experienced professional to give an evaluation of the current structure and utilities in a home. And then the buyer takes that information and they get that information is in a home inspection report, and that report is kind of an instruction manual on how to preserve and maintain this large investment. Without this book, without this home inspection report, a first-time home buyer, or even a second-time home buyer, someone who's never owned this particular house before, may not know when to budget for a boiler replacement, when to budget for a roof replacement, how much longer will the windows be effective, should the siding be replaced, how old is the washer and the dryer, do all the appliances work? So this home inspection report gives you a step-by-step guide to how to preserve and maintain this investment so that it's going to be in an acceptable condition for the next owners when you're ready to sell. What it also does during this home inspection, as the inspector goes through every nook, every cranny, from interior, exterior, basement to attic, they're looking for really significant issues that would be reasonable for you to bring to the seller's attention. And it's I explain it both the same to buyers as I do to sellers. It's home repair requests when it comes from a home inspection are on a spectrum from unreasonable to reasonable and everything in between. Some examples of what I like to say are reasonable requests are issues with the home that would prevent another buyer or even you from getting a mortgage on the home. So that may be a leaky roof, some leaky plumbing, hot water that doesn't work, heat that doesn't work, a significant electrical hazard that could potentially light the house on fire, structural cracks, termites. These are all issues that, if not resolved, could prevent a buyer from obtaining a mortgage. And there are also issues that the current seller may not be aware of and would also like to address, because situations like this typically get worse over time. So the seller's still going to be living there for potentially 2 to 3 months, and they might want these issues resolved as well. So those are somewhat reasonable requests. And then if we shift to maybe some unreasonable requests, And again, this depends on the market. It depends on the buyer's mindset when it comes to repairs, how comfortable they are, and really what they themselves feel like negotiating. Again, depending on the value that they're getting on the home, what the relationship has been negotiating wise with the seller, and how much they want to risk potentially losing the house if the seller just says no, thank you, uh, we've had enough. So unreasonable requests might be, say, an outlet that's wired backwards. That's something that the new owner could take care of very easily by hiring a qualified electrician to rewire an outlet, to replace an outlet that maybe is in the kitchen or near a water source that's not GFCI protected. And that's just one example. Or another example might be like a broken seal on a window. So you're looking at a window, and in between the two window panes there's some light condensation, and that means not necessarily that the window leaks, but that the gas inside has escaped, and the seal around the window is no longer containing that gas, so moisture is able to get in, condensation appears. The window still keeps water out, but it's getting some condensation inside, and aesthetically it doesn't look that great, and it's also not as energy efficient as it once was when it was new. This window panes typically can be replaced by a glacier, again, once the new owner takes possession. And given the negotiations thus far, it's possible you could ask the seller for that. But again, that will lean, in my opinion, more towards the unreasonable side of inspection repair requests as opposed to the reasonable side of repair requests. Everything's a spectrum, and given the specific situation of the home, what the results are of the inspection, it's a good opportunity to perhaps pick your battles depending on how excited you are about the home, or really go for it if you feel confident that the seller is in a position where they have to agree to something given their situation. And that goes back to negotiations, which we'll get to in a later video. That about covers the home inspection process. If you need a recommendation for a home inspector, please reach out to me. My contact information should be in front of you right now. Thanks so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode where we discuss the mortgage process once you've signed contracts. This has been another episode of Real Estate the Right Way with your host, Michael.Wright, residential realtor on Long Island, New York. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, and have a great day. And as always, tell me what home means to you, and I'll help you get there.